Hello and welcome to the second part of my video about Next War Taiwan playthrough, and we are playing scenario 3 Indochina War Redo. Okay, first thing first, I need to make a clarification because I made one mistake here. In this particular battle, this unit was forced to retreat and it was moved here. It was wrong, because when unit defends on the clear terrain, on the marsh, on the raw terrain or raw woods, it has to retreat 2 hexes. At any other kind of terrain, unit retreats 1 hex, so it has to retreat here. Okay, that's all when it comes to the clarification. Let's go on with the battle, and now we are playing reaction movement segment. In this segment, a Vietnamese player is allowed finally make some movement. Well, it is a hard thing what they can do. I think that the problem is that we lack reserves. I would love to have 1 or 2 more divisions to provide them some some cover for this part of the jungle, but I lack them. Well, I just need to move camera a bit. Okay, we have 1 infantry division here, and it won't be much useful here in this city, so I think I would rather move it somewhere else. So 1, 2, 3. Let's place it here, so it will be it will close this road. Now this division is here. This is good position because there is also a town here, so it will get some nice cover. And now this division here. It is in the good position because it is a town here as well, but the problem is that it is already surrounded from 3 sides, so it will be hard to defend this position, especially if enemy will come from this side as well. So I think it is good to move it somewhere else. So I'm moving here 1 point for flat terrain and 1 point for jungle, so 2, 3, 4. I think this is better. At last this division won't be destroyed that easily. I hope so. And here, this armored brigade. Okay, I will move it here to not let it, because on this hex it will be attacked from 3 directions, and here probably not. So this is, I think this will be better. Alright, and now let's go to the south. I have only 1 division here and it is weakened already, so no, let it stay where it is. It keeps this highway in its zone of control, so I hope that the Chinese units won't be able to move here very fast, but I cannot do much, I'm afraid now. I can move this I can move this Marines battalion here in the Hanoi city. It will be defending the city and it is protected by the river, so it will be harder for Chinese units to destroy it. I hope so. And I think that's all when it comes to the reaction movement segment. And next we are moving into reaction combat segment, but Vietnamese units are not about to attack anyone when they are not strong enough to perform any successful attacks. So this covers initiative, movement and combat phase. The next phase is basic movement and combat phase. So Chinese units are moving again. Let's go on. What are they going to do now? Let's here. I think I will move. No, I cannot move here because these units are in the zone of control of this division, so it is not allowed for them to move through the zone of control. Movement on this hex would cost this division 7, 4. So 1, 2, 3. And 7. Alright, that's fine. Now 3, 4. Great. So I still can attack from 3 directions. You can already tell this is quite important. Now here 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1. They are all still going to attack. Okay, that was easy. And if here it won't be that easy, I'm afraid. That's all I can do here. And here I can do that. Okay, and now let's move artillery a bit closer to make it allow to support these attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and now on to the south. Do I have any movement here to do? No, I don't think so. But I still have 2 Chinese airborne brigades that I can use somewhere. The question is if I want to use them now. I think the sooner the better. The question is where. I think I might use them here. No. Or maybe here. To capture this air base. Capturing this air base could be quite important because it will reduce number of the enemy air units a bit. Okay, so let's move them here and let's make whole paradrop procedure again. Where do I put my... oh yes, it's here. Now my die. Okay. So first we need to see if they reach this place. Flying side has air superiority, and we are landing next to the air base, so we have to subtract 2 from our die roll. Oh my! So this unit failed, and the other unit, wow, it failed as well. It's good that I have air superiority, so they suffered no losses, but even so it was, well, very bad landing operation. Okay, so now we can move into the basic combat phase. And now let's resolve our combats. First here, 2, 4, 6 against 8. It is 1 to 2 in the jungle, and now 6 against 4, it's plus 2, and plus 1 for the surprise in the first turn, so we have 2 to 1. Now, I don't have air units, I still have 1 combat helicopter here, but I'm going to use it in this battle because it will be harder, I believe. So no air support, and I have -1 modifier for attack from 3 directions, so it's -1. But defender is in the town, so he also gets +1. So modifiers are done. I have clear roll without modifiers. So let's make a roll. 5. 5 is 1, 1. So each side suffers 1 step loss. Okay, and next combat is going on here. First, 3, 5, 8 against 12. So it is 1 to 2 again. 6 against 5 is +1. Artillery is used again, so it's +1. And the surprise attack is +1, so I have 2 to 1. I'm going to use these combat helicopters to support this battle. 6, so they can support. I get -1. I am attacking from 3 directions, so I have -1. And defender is not in the town. But defender decides to try to use their combat helicopters. It will be very hard for them. 5, -1 because we have mechanized enemy units here, so it is 4. 4 in the air superiority is airborne -1. So they cannot be used, but they suffered no losses, which is good. At last. Alright, so that's all. Let's resolve combat. Oh my. 8 -2 is 6. Not a very good roll, I'm afraid. Yes, it is 1 step loss for the attacker. That wasn't very successful. Okay, and other attacks. The question is if I want to attack here. I'm not sure actually. No, I'm not going to attack. It will be too risky. So, I'm going to launch an attack here. It will be 1, 3, and 5 against 4, because this is armored unit, so it has no modifications for defending in the jungle. So I have 5 against 4, so it's 1 to 1, and -1 because of the odds difference. And next, I'm going to use my artillery to support, so I have +1. I have +1 for surprise attack, and I have +1 for combat efficiency difference, so it's 3 to 1. And next, the question is if I can use my combat helicopters. They are here, so they can operate in the 7 hexes range only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I cannot use them. So I don't have any air points, so I cannot use them as well. So no other modifiers for me. I have to make a roll. It is 5 -1 is 4. It is -1 air. So defender suffers 1 step loss, and he has to retreat. This unit defends in the jungle, so it has to retreat 1 hex. I think I will retreat here. And they are moving on this hex. So that's all when it comes to the Chinese attacks. And next we have reaction move. In the basic movement and combat phase, we are skipping all this elite reaction, exploit, movement, exploit, combat, and so. So now it is Vietnamese part to move again. I will retreat 1, 2, 3. Why? You will see. But I want to do so. Even if I am going to lose this town, I think it would be better for me to retreat. Now this armored division, sorry, brigade is going to move here. And I think that's all. No, I'm not going to retreat from these hex. They are fine where they are. So, yes, that's all. I cannot do much. So this covers this covers basic reaction movement and phase, and we are not attacking with Vietnamese units, so we don't have any reaction combat. So we are moving into reorganization phase. Now let's check what we are going to do in the reorganization phase. First, rotate all helicopters and artillery to reflect no missions used. Alright, so we have to check all our artillery and helicopters and rotate them like that. So they will be able to use in the next turn. Okay, that's all. Next, remove air point marker. So I'm removing both air point marker. Reset air mobile points. I never used any air mobile points in this turn. Remove tunnel markers, but this is only for next war Korea, and conduct clearing operations. Okay, and that's where we are going to do our clearing operations. We have two of them right here. And now, what clearing operations are? They are some kind of pacification of the area and gives player control of this area. As for Vietnam, it is quite important because, like I said before, Vietnam has very big people units that are kind of self-defense, local defense, volunteer, and they are light armored. They don't have any heavy artillery vehicles and so, but they can be quite effective with the guerrilla attack, city combat and so. And because of that, clearing captured towns is quite important. To make it, we need to perform clearing operations. So let's start here. First we need to flip our clearing counter to see the number here. This is a clearing number. Okay, next we have a city here. And these two Vietnamese Chinese battalions are brigades are trying to clear this fully town, city. It is city. It has minimum safe stacking points of 3. We have 1, 2, so we don't have minimum safe stacking points, and because of that, if we fail with our attempt to clear this city, we will suffer 1 step loss. This is important to remember. And now, when we know about this, we have to check all the modifiers. I'm going to mark them here in this die roll modifiers track. First, clearing in Vietnam. Yes, we are clearing in Vietnam, so we get -1. Per additional installation in hex? No, this is only a city. Clearing hex in Hanoi? No. Oh, and next one is important to remember. If units clearing on the turn of being paradropped or using air mobile movement? Yes, these units were paradropped in this turn, so they get -2. Stack contains leg and armor or mechanized infantry. Yes, this is leg unit and this is mechanized unit. So we have -1. So we have +1 on our favor. Difference between efficiency rating and clearing number. So now we have to choose leading unit, just like in the combat. I'm going to use this unit as a leading unit, and it has combat efficiency of 6. 6 minus 4 is 2, so we get plus 2 on our favor. And now, difference between stacking points and minimum safe stacking points. But this is only there is only minus, so it works only for our bad. It never works for our good. So we have 3 minus 2, so we have minus 1. So it's 0. We don't have any modifiers. We have to make a roll. Oh, sorry. I rolled 3. My god. This is a failure, because 3 is lower than 4. And because of that, I have to suffer 1 step loss by this unit, and clearing operation fails. Next clearing operation is here. Oh my. 5. It is one of the higher numbers possible, because these are 3, 4, 5 or 6. So let's check how it will work here. This is air base only. This is not a town, not a city. This and air base is an installation. It needs only 2, and we have 2, so we are fine. We won't suffer any step losses. So we have minus 1 for clearing in Vietnam. Minus 1 because our units were para-dropped. Plus 1 because our stack contains leg and mechanized units. And 6 minus 5, difference between efficiency rating and clearing number, so it is 0 again. 6, yes. That's it. Enemy air base is captured. We are placing control marker on this air base, so we know that this base is currently controlled by the Vietnamese forces, by the Chinese forces. And also, to remember the fact that I just captured this air base, I have to place the counter that one Vietnamese air base was captured and controlled or destroyed, but it was captured on the matrix table. Okay, so it works great for me because one enemy air base is captured. And that's all for reorganization phase, and next we have reinforcement and replacement phase. First thing first, each player gains some replacement points that he can use to reinforce his weakened units. We have to check scenario rules, and they will tell us how many replacement points we get. Okay, the Vietnamese player gets 1 replacement point. Not much. So what we can do? We have 1 replacement points, and we are going to use replacement reconstitution table. And first, we have a type of our units, size of our units, and the kind of operation we want to do. Step recovery means that unit returns to normal. Reconstitution means that we are taking our units from the surrendered unit box and place it on the board again. So we have only 1 point, so we cannot do much. But there is one action I prepared here, and let's move it on the board. Important thing to remember. Only units that are not in the enemy zone of controls can get replacement. So I'm going to spend my 1 replacement points to replace this division and make it back into normal. And that's all. Vietnam has no more replacement points, and China has no replacement points at all in this turn. And next we have reinforcements. And first we have to check on the matrix table. Are there any reinforcements here? Yes, we have the entire 81 army group, and it enters the board from between 300 and 390 and 3900 hexes, so somewhere far from the north. Between 300 and 390. So I will place it here and I will deploy it later. And now Vietnam. Vietnam has no reinforcements on the matrix table, but scenario rules tells us something important. Each time, at each turn, draw and place 3 PSDF counters. And you may ask what PSDF counters are. These are People's Self-Defense Force of the Vietnamese army. When the game starts, you have to place all of them in some cup, and then you have to draw randomly 3 of them. They have 2 sides. On the one side, on this side we have a normal infantry unit acting more like a combat outpost. It has no attack value, no movement value, it has defense value of 3 and combat efficiency of 5. And the Vietnamese player can place it anywhere in its military region, on the city, town or installation. So we have 3 units of the 2nd military region. This is bad. This is bad because 2nd military region is virtually here, so it won't be much use of it in this game. I'm thinking of yes, I think it would be actually better for me to remove this 2nd military region units and take some else. I'm not doing it. I'm not sure about this, but I think it would be it would make sense to use only units from these military regions we are playing on. So I took 3 more, and this is 3rd military region, 3rd and 1st. Okay, but also this People's Self-Defense unit has something else on the other side. This reflects their allowance to perform some kind of guerrilla attack, and when you place them on that side, you can place them on the cities, urban hexes that are already captured by the enemy, but they are not controlled by the enemy. So, for example, here, and then they get another negative modifier for clearing operations. So let's check. I have these 2 are for 3rd military region, so I'm going to place this one right here, and it will make Chinese units harder to clear this town. And now this, and where I'm going to place this, I think here. And this one goes for 1st military region. I think it will be great to place it here. Why? Because it will slow down enemy movement and actions, because China player will have to attack this city first. So that's all when it comes to the reinforcement and replacement phase. Oh, sorry, not. There is one more step. Adjust submarine threat and anti-submarine warfare levels. We don't have anything that would force us to adjust that stuff. I think I need to make sure. Yes, there is nothing that changes this in this game, in this turn. So next we have victory determination phase, but this is not for this scenario. And this concludes turn 1 of this game. We are moving into turn 2. Since that turn we can forget about this nice +1 column shift for the surprise. It's not working anymore, so it will be harder for Chinese units to attack effectively. Alright, so let's carry on with the turn 2. We are starting with weather phase, so we have to make a roll for a weather. Oh my! I rolled 7. And 7 means that weather goes overcast. What it means? First, we will have to use only half, rounded up, of our AO points. And the second, we are allowed to use only one only one mission for each helicopter in this turn. So it means that our air resources are limited. And the next thing, we have to check supply, but I think all the units are supplied. All? Well, let's check. Here all these guys have a supply, but are they? Supply goes through the roads. So this hex is definitely not a supply road because it is in the zone of control of this unit. But this road, oh no, this hex is controlled by this unit, so no. So this self-defense unit is out of supply. Alright, it's not a very big deal here because supply limits your attack value, movement value, so this is not an important thing for such units. I'm marking this only to remember about this. And next, down here, this is going to be more interesting. Now, we have a supply base here with this beachhead. So we have to make sure if our units have supply. Yes, it has. And this unit has, yes, so they all have a supply. Okay, they are fine when it comes to this. So next we have initiative AO naval phase. First, determine if either player has the initiative for the game turn. Yes, Chinese player has an initiative because of the special scenario rules. Next, each player rolls for the standard game AO points chart. So let's make this roll. We'll be rolling in the column 2 because this is turn 2, and we have to remember that because of the overcast weather, we have to halve our AO points. So first for Chinese, 8. Oh my! They have 4 AO points and it is halved, so they have only 2 AO points. Not very impressive. And now for the Vietnam, 8, so they have only 1 AO points and they have -2. -1 because 1 AO point being lost permanently, and 1 because 1 AO base was captured in the previous turn. So they have no AO points at all. And now we have to check AO superiority, and Chinese player has 2 AO points and he adds 8, so he has 10, and it is between 8 and 15, so it is AO superiority again. But because of the small number of AO points, it won't do much stuff here. And the next thing is sea control. So let's move into the sea map and let's make a roll. First, we are rolling for the inshore boxes. So, Gulf of Tonkin is controlled by Chinese player and the sea zone as well, so we don't have to roll for this area. But South China Sea. Inshore box is controlled by Vietnamese player, and South China Sea zone is contested. So we have to make a roll for South China Sea, inshore box, and this is going to be what we have. -1 because we have Chinese player has air superiority. Next we have -2 because of the subthreat level, so we have -3, and +1 because the anti-submarine warfare. So we have -2, and it is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2, so it is China. China regains control over parcels inshore box. And next are Spartley's. Spartley's inshore box is contested, so we have to make a roll. We have same modifiers as before, so we have -2 and 5. 5 minus 3 minus 2 is 3, so it is contested. And now sea zones. Gulf of Tonkin. Oh, I don't even have to check modifiers. And now here, South China Sea. What do we have here? Yes, same modifiers as before. It is -1, so China regains sea control. Wow. And Spartley's 3 minus 1 minus 2 is 1, so China keeps control over this sea zone. So that's when it comes to the sea control. As you can see, China won. So we are moving on to the operational map, and we continue our glorious Chinese march onto the Hanoi. Well, Chinese units are kinda stuck. They have to attack well-prepared positions, and I can't see any good place where I can make a breakthrough. And first thing first, I'm going to move this brigade 1, 2, and I am going to attack this port. I hope I will be able to do so. And they are going to attack this, they are going to attack here, and next onto the north more, because in the previous turn I get some reinforcements. So let's move them. First I'm going to move this, maybe here, sorry, yes, I can move it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will need a clearing marker. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they will join them to clear this city. And now the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and my helicopters have to stay here. So that's all here, and now let's go to the south. Oh, I almost forgot about the south. So what are we going to do here? I will let this brigade to stay here, and this one I would love to reach this place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it can enter this hex, so I hope it will help to clear this town. Oh, I forgot to flip these amphibious units. Also, I will change these amphibious units into SAC. It will provide some support if needed. And I think that's all. Oh, no, not all. I still have these two airborne brigades that failed to perform a paradrop in the previous turn, so I can use them now. And the question is where I'm going to use them. This airbase was successfully captured. I still think of using them somewhere in the north. Or maybe not. Alright, so let's make a first landing attempt here. And or maybe here, and let's make a roll first for air defense. Oh my, it is a failure. It is, they have a very bad luck. Let's make it clear. And now they are going to land here. I have to subtract -2 because of the air base. 9. Yes, they made it. Finally, they made it. And now let's make a roll for paradrop. 1. They are fine. They can even try to enter this air base and to capture it, but it will be hard due to the fact that they would need 2 stacking points and they are alone. So I wonder if they will make it. Let's draw some clearing marker. Okay, so I think that's all when it comes to the Chinese movement phase. And next we have initiative combat phase. So where our mighty Chinese forces are about to attack. Let's check it out. Here, I bet. So we have 1, 3, 6. 6 against 3. So we have 2 to 1 in the jungle. Oh no, sorry, they are 6 because they are infantry unit defending in the jungle. So it's 6 against 6. So it's 1 to 1. And next, I'm going to use this unit as a leading force. So it has 6 against 5. So it has +1. So we have 1 to 5 to 1. And artillery. Do I need artillery? I would love to, but it will be more useful here. So no artillery. And now modifiers. I am attacking from three directions, so I have -3. And I can call for only 1 air support from my helicopters in this turn, and I have only 2 air points. So I will try to spend one of my air points. 9. It's fine, it works, so I have -2. Alright, so let's make a roll. 6 -2 is 4. It's -1, -1. Each side suffers 1 step loss. So this Chinese unit is flipped and this PSDF is eliminated. Oh, my mistake. I forgot they are defending in the town, so they get +1. So it wasn't 4, but 5. And the 5 means 2, 1. So 2 Chinese units have to suffer step loss. Not good. Not good. And because enemy unit was eliminated, I am allowed to enter this hex. Okay, next battle goes here. I have 3, 4, and 7. 7 against 12. It is 1 to 2. And I'm going to use this unit as leading force, so 6 against 5. It is +1. I will use my artillery, so I have another +1. So it is 1.5 to 1. And now modifiers. I have -1 for attack from 3 directions. I will use these combat helicopters. I can use them only once. 4, they are fine, so I have -2. And enemy is not in the town, so let's make a roll. Wow, that's impressive. 1 minus 2 is -1. This means -1 for the defender. So defender suffers 1 step loss. I hoped it will be something more spectacular, actually, but it's not bad. Alright, and our next battle goes here. I have 3, 5, and 9. 9 against 1, so it is 9-1, so it is 6-1. We cannot go any further. And now we have to check diagonal modifiers. We are attacking from 2 directions, so no modifiers. Defender is in the town, so +1. There is also a port, but it's not working because we have port or town. So we have already town here, so we don't have any further modifiers. And I'm not going to use any other modifiers. So I have +1. 6 + 1 is 7. It is -1 for the defender, and this battalion has only one side, so it is eliminated. And I am allowed to occupy this land, and I will have to make some clearing operation here. Because there is a port. And I think that's all when it comes to the Chinese attacks. No, there is a question if I want to attack here. This can be very risky and very hard, but I have to do so. Alright, 2, 4, 7 against 9. So it's 1-2 in the jungle. And next, 6 against 6. So no shifts for combat efficiency. My artillery goes boom, so it provides me +1 column shift. My combat helicopters are too far, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they cannot provide support. And I'm going to spend my last air point for this battle. 9, I can use it, so I have -1. Okay, so that's all. 2 -1 is 1. This is -1, -1, retreat. So each side suffers 1 step loss, and the defender has to retreat 1 hex. I'm performing a pursuit here. And I can move here. Because a road. Okay. So that's all when it comes to the Chinese combat initiative combat phase. And next we have elite reaction combat movement phase. The question is if Vietnam has any elite units. I don't think so. There is one, this Hanoi division, but it has to stay in Hanoi. And no, we don't have any other elite unit. This one was elite unit, but it isn't anymore. So that's all. Next we have exploit movement phase. So we can move our Chinese units again. I'm going to move these 2 brigades like that. They will attack this division. Now them. Here. here. This is 3 and 4 here. So that's all. Now I think I will launch my attack here, but not sure if I will do it in this combat phase, because it will be exploit combat phase. So it makes me quite reluctant about attacking. Alright, so that's all when it comes to the north. I'm not on the strategic display I will move one of my surface action groups into South China Sea. And I think that's all when it comes to the Chinese exploit movement segment. And next we have exploit combat segment. And the question is if I want to attack, because I guess you remember that we get this nasty -2 column shift for the exploit combat. So I'm not quite sure if I want to attack. Maybe here it would be 3, 4, 7 against 6. Okay, let's do so. I'm going to attack here. I have 7 against 6, so I have 1 to 1 and -1. I get 6 and 4, so for the combat efficiency difference, so I get +2. I'm going to use my artillery, so I have +1, and now I have -2 because of the exploit combat, so I have 1.5 to 1. I cannot use my combat helicopters anymore. I'm getting -1 for the attack from 3 directions, so I have -2, and that's all. Oh god, that's a good roll. -1 again. It is -1. So a defender suffers 1 step loss. This division is eliminated. That's good. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That was surprisingly good battle. Do I want to attack anywhere? The question is here. This is kind of tempting, but no. I'm not going to suffer any more losses here. Maybe here. I might try here. Okay, so I'm attacking into the jungle, so I have 2 and 3 against 2, so I have 1.5 to 1. I have 6 against 4, so I have +1. I will use my artillery, so I have +1. And now I have -2 because of the exploit combat, so I have 2 to 1. And no columns, no die roll modifiers, I think. Yes, no die roll modifiers, so... Oh, that's something very bad. 9 means... No, not very bad. 9 means 1 to 1, so each side suffers 1 step loss. And I can enter this hex. Okay, that's all when it comes to the exploit combat, and next we have reaction movement segment. Okay, so it's time for Vietnamese units to move. I think I will move here, just to make sure that I won't be surrounded. And do I have any other options to make a movement? Well, let's think a bit about this division. This hex, no, this hex is not in the zone of control of this brigade, because this is a river, and both small and big rivers are nullifying enemy zone of controls. So it can still retreat here or there. but this brigade can move here in the next turn, and it will be problematic for me, so I will move here just in case, to not be surrounded. And okay, and now this brigade, I feel kind of tempted to attack this Chinese airborne unit here, and I think I will make it. It will be hard, but I have to do my best. I have to try to at last one attack. I am still defending, so let's make some attack attempt. Okay, so I am attacking these Chinese paratroopers. I have strength of 4, but since enemy is in the clear terrain, I have my strength doubled, so I have 8. 8 against 3 is 2 to 1 and -1. That's good. Next we have combat efficiency of 6 minus combat efficiency of 5, so we have 1 column shift into 1.5 and 1. As for any other modifiers, defender is not in installation. Yes, there is an installation, right, but it is not cleared, so defender cannot use it. It still shows some resistance against this Chinese airborne brigade. And now I will try to use my combat helicopters. I rolled 8. Wow. And because this is a REC unit, I don't have this nasty -1 modifier, and since this air base is not captured by the Chinese units, it provides no column shift, sorry, no die roll modifier, so I am fine. I get -1 from my combat helicopters. So that's good. It is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 means -1, retreat. So, defender suffers 1 step loss, attacker suffers 1 step loss, and the defender has to retreat 1 hex. So, this base is freed. Our Chinese enemies weren't able to capture it, and our brave armored brigade managed to free it from the enemy forces. Okay, so I think that's all when it comes to this phase. Next will be a basic movement and combat phase, but I think I will make it for the other part of the video. So thank you for watching for now, and see you again in the third part of our video.